Hi, this is Dana with Novels Alive, and I have Rebecca York with me today. And you have been writing like crazy. You had your Solid as Steel come out in January, correct?
Right.
And then you've got a new one, Dark Warrior. And when is that coming out?
That'll be out in September from Berkley.
And then you've got a new series coming out January, February. Tell us a little bit about that one, too.
Okay, the series is called Mindbenders. And there's an idea, I've had this idea in my head for years, and I've actually used it before. It's the idea that if you have people who are latent telepaths, and they are never able to really connect with people because there's something always missing in their lives. And then suppose they meet somebody who's like them, and suddenly they find something with this person that they've never had before in their lives. And that's what that series is about. The first one's called Sudden Insight in January, and then Sudden Attraction in February. And the problem is, of course, okay, this is thing you've always longed for, but then how do you handle it? Because it's not that easy to have somebody inside your head. You know, when you can't have a private thought, you're going to have to figure out what to do about that too.
So people are actually in your mind.
Yes.
That would be really intimidating and quite scary, I would think.
Yes, well, it is scary for them. What happens is, at the beginning when they meet each other and they touch and they start getting flashes of what's in the other person's mind. They also, of course, are really turned on by touching and kissing, but pressure is building up in their head. So are they going to be able to forge a telepathic link, or are they going to have a stroke? Right?
Well, that is a little bit scary. Well, tell us a little bit about Dark Warrior, too. And is that part of a series as well?
Well, I'd like it to be the beginning of a series for Berkley. It's the first book, and it's about women who were rivals to the Delphic Oracles in Greece 2,000 years ago. And when Greece was invaded by barbarians, they were rescued by warriors called the Minot. And the Minot rescued them, but then they tried to dominate them, and the women did not want that. They have psychic powers, and they got away from the guys using this. And then for 2,000 years, these warriors have been after them, trying to get back that relationship. And the women have lived in various places, and now, you know, where would women who have psychic powers perhaps end up? They're in Sedona, Arizona, running a spa.
But of course. Makes complete sense.
Right. So nobody, it's known that there may be a little strange. In other words, they're all cousins, and whenever a baby is born, it's a girl, so that people wonder, well, what are they doing, killing the boys, or what's happening, which isn't. It's that they can control that would be a girl. And in this story, there are two of these Minot warriors, and there's a reason why they've been after them, which I'm not going to tell you for 2,000 years. But there's a hero, and then there's a bad guy, and they're not that different. I mean, they both want the same thing. It's sort of a question of what method are they willing to use and how far are they willing to go. And there's a point where the bad guy could have said, what am I doing? Am I throwing away what I could really have so that I can dominate this woman? And of course, because he's the bad guy, he just can't let it go. I mean, it's like
poorly.
Yes, he chooses poorly. But so the heroine, it's the bad guy's after the heroine's sister, and the good guy hooks up with the heroine.
So that's why there's cousins, and so you're hoping that you'll be able to do spin-off for each of the cousins.
Yes, and I was thinking that the next one would be the woman who had the really bad relationship with the bad guy, and how does she get back her self-esteem, because she's just really screwed herself up by first trusting, well, he drugged her, so he got her to trust him, but yeah, he wasn't real nice.
Well, it sounds like it, but it does sound like the female characters are pretty strong.
Yes, yes.
In terms of empowered women.
That's correct, and it's interesting because it's a little different from the kind of woman I usually write. These are women who their main relationship is with the women in their family, and they take men as lovers, and they're allowed to have pleasure with men, and they want to have children with men, but the whole relationship thing is not part of what they want. And of course, we come to the crux, the heroine is falling in love with this guy, and she shouldn't be falling in love. Her loyalty should be to her sisters, but of course, because it's a romance, she can't help herself.
And you got to have that conflict
in
there.
Right. There's a lot of conflict about her feelings about my whole loyalty has been to the sisterhood. But then part of what's happened is she starts to think, have they been lying to me about some aspects of my life that I didn't know about? So then where does that loyalty go if I know that this isn't even the truth?
So there's betrayal in there and everything else.
Yes.
Well, I really appreciate you coming this morning. It's always such a pleasure to talk with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was really fun.
Thank you.